Why are necromancers so good at robbing houses? It's that damn skeleton key. What's going on, YouTube? It's officially the weekend, so we're inside the Hollow City, inside a Cold Harbor, outside the Plane of Existence to go over our first of two weekend vendors. And as always, if you're like, Jake, where in the world are these people? I need more information. Check the link below because we have a whole website that breaks down why you might want to talk and learn about these bad man pajamas. But notably, it's pretty straightforward, actually. It's, hey, should I buy this stuff to either resell it or put it in my house? I'll tell you, this alchemy shelf is fantastic. It's huge. It's got bottles. It takes up space. But it's only one housing item for 4,000 gold. You're not going to beat that. And pretty much all of these items are pretty good. 3,000 for a flask, but I mean, you gotta give it to this. I mean, it's like a glowing red guard bottle, and these big dye pots organized. I mean, it's a big item, takes up a lot of space, looks unique. A lot of these items are gonna go great in houses, and there's a housing contest right around the corner. So a lot of people, if they're interested in any sort of alchemy stuff, this is gonna be the stuff to invest in, either to put for your house or to sell it. So I can definitely recommend the luxury furnishing vendor. We're about to go to the Cyrodiil vendor. It's funny that people always wonder if I know ahead of time. We do these fully live, so I gotta go load it up. I have no idea what's in store for us. There could be crazy good stuff, crazy bad stuff. Before we get there, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's see what the vendor has for us. And now we're inside our Cyrodiilic area. Don't worry, you can buy these sets for gold or alliance points. And we're here with the golden vendor. Again, more information is always linked below. And we start with Rakumgaz. Now, a lot of people are like, Jake, they say it out loud in some really obscure point in the dungeon. Listen, I don't know how to pronounce this, but bigger question is this set good? When you heal yourself or an ally, you summon a Dwemer spider that heals some health and restore some magic and stamina to you and your allies within 5 meters every 1 second for 8 seconds. This is going to occur every 15 seconds. So decent uptime, get a little bit of resources back, get some healing. The problem with a set like this is it's just outdone by support sets that exist for DLCs. This comes from Darkshade Caverns 1, which is very easy. It's like Cupcake Dungeon. So obviously, don't buy the helmet anyway. But is this set just good overall? I would give it a 7 out of 10. I would still say that it's good. To me, that's what a 7 is. 7 is good, 8 is great, 9 is fantastic, 10 is best in slot. So for me, I would put this in the good tier. The problem is, again, as we talked about it's just outclassed. Or just better support sets, better uptimes, better sustain. Back to the resources, or they're giving things in addition like damage buffs, or there's mythics out there these days. So unfortunately, a set like this, while it's good, is not going to really see any sort of utilization. Next up from Cradle of Shadows is Veildrith. Now, this is a one-piece weapon and spell damage. I point that out to you because it's one of the only sets in the game that has that for a monster set. So if you're using a mythic, because you're probably going to wear a 5-piece set and another 5-piece set, and then a 1-piece mythic, you need a 1-piece something or else to go with it, you might want to get a little bit of juice for the squeeze and go for weapon and spell damage off of Veildrith. Now, you could buy it, not have to waste any Undaunted keys. You're probably going to use it in a PvP build, so you probably have some alliance points. You might just throw it out there, pick it up in medium or light, whatever your fancy is. Maybe even heavy if you're so inclined to get yourself the 511. Build loadout, that being 5 of either medium, light, or heavy, and then 1 medium and 1 light to get the Undaunted metal perk. However, the better question is how is it as a 2-piece? When you deal damage, you have a 20% chance to spawn spores, 3 damage spores in front of you, after 1 second that deal 5760 disease damage to any enemy they hit. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. So this you could see as an effect where it's like we're just cranking out damage in front of us. Is this good? Yeah, it is good. Problem is this not very good. It's not great. The problem is that there are just other sets that have outclassed this. The Cradle of Shadows is not a super old DLC dungeon, but we're definitely turning back time, as they say. Cher, I think, says that. And if you were to put this in a build, you could get, like, I'd give it a 7.5. You could still have a halfway great build with this set, but you're probably sitting more in the, yeah, that's a good build, but you're not going to be pushing past into, ooh, that's a great build there. Next up from City of Ash 1, we have Burning Spellweave. Now, Burning Spellweave is a unique set because it used to be probably one of the best non-trial sets in the game when it came to PvE damage. And even PvP, still pretty good. Because when you deal damage with a flame ability, you apply the burning status effect to your enemy, and you increase your weapon and spell damage by 490 for 8 seconds. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds. So good uptime, good ability to last, and a lot of people don't mention this. This can be back barred. You're like, Jake, what's back bar? Well, normally you have to have a 5-piece set on the front bar and the back bar to optimize and utilize it. But you can have a arena weapon on your front bar, back bar something like this, go to your back bar, deal flame damage, get the 490 weapon and spell damage buff, and then switch back to your front bar, and you are hunky-dory. You're good to go. You still got the effect for 8 seconds. So it is a little bit tricky to build that in because some people are not comfortable bar swapping like this, especially for an offensive buff, because then you're trying to swap very quickly once you get your 490 proc off. But if you can do it, you could definitely build it, and it's hard to really rate where I would put this. For PvE, it's definitely tapered off when it comes down to its utilization in flame damage builds. But for PvP, especially now with subclassing on the horizon, how is this going to do with the ability to kind of mix and match flame damage and stack more bonuses that this has never had before? It's just so hard to know. I would put this closer to like the 9.0 category. It is still a bit niche, so I'd be hesitant to say that this is like a staple. But there will be people who would argue that this is a staple of flame damage, PvP, 490 weapon and spell, big chunky buffs. There are people who argue that. There are other people who are like, Jake, it's from the easiest dungeon in the game, or one of the easiest dungeons. Why could you possibly rate it so highly? It's irrelevant how easy it is to get. Is it good? And the nice thing is that if you run a dungeon like City of Ash, you have to go through the whole thing to actually get a weapon and jewelry drop. So if you buy the ring, you get a free ring that you can transmute from there. So it's a fine purchase if you're desperate, but I would say probably farm this with your thumbless friends and get this set because it's just great to use. Next up is Scathing Mage for Imperial City Prison. So this actually is a little bit of a sticky wicket to get. You're not running the Cupcake Dungeon to get this bad boy. It gives you max mag, crit chance. When you deal direct damage, you have a 20% chance to increase your weapon and spell damage by 516 for 5 seconds, but this effect can only occur once every 5 seconds. Now, this is a set that's very difficult to keep uptime of because you have to deal direct damage, and then when you do, you have a 20% chance to keep that 516 weapon and spell damage after the 5 seconds end. So this could be very finicky to consistently keep up, and I would encourage people that if you're looking into this, it's a little bit gambly. You might want to try something that's a bit more mainstream, honestly, like Burning Spellweave. But here you see why a set that gives almost the same bonus of a decent chunk of weapon and spell damage is so different. The uptime is significantly worse, and you don't really get to start it. You know when you're going to deal flame damage. I would hope you know what your abilities do. If it's on fire, probably dealing flame damage. But when you're dealing direct damage, 20% chance, that's not good odds, but it is a decent payoff. So a set like this, I would put 8.0, especially when you can deal direct damage so many times. With subclassing coming out, a lot of people have been experimenting and thinking about how Scathing Mage could be good. All that to say, it might see a stock increase in the future, but currently, I would give it an 8.0. You could build a great PvP set with this. Why not PvE? A lot of people think, Jake, why don't you show more love to the PvE community? And the problem is weapon and spell damage just isn't as good for PvE content. You want to stack buffs, you want to stack crit chance, crit damage, because those, the enemies are not wearing in-pen armor when you're going into a trial. And you don't need to build, you don't need the same resources. So the resources of weapon and spell damage, you're just going to see more commonly for PvP. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it definitely is a rule that you will see pretty consistently. So that's why we're in this. Jake, why is the best utilization PvP most of the time? Next up, we have Shulk. Now this one is another overland one from Stonefalls. Now this one gives you health, weapon and spell, crit chance, weapon and spell. This did not normally used to have a 5-piece. It used to just be minor heroism. Minor heroism used to be rare. Unfortunately now, spoiler, it's not very rare. But you do get 171 weapon and spell damage for free in full minor heroism. The problem is that you can scribe it. You can get it from different bonuses. Like, minor heroism is just not worth it. If this was an unnamed buff that was just giving you one ultimate every 1.5 seconds, then we might be in business. But the problem is right now, business is closed 6 out of 10. Oh, Spriggans, one of my initial favorite sets in the game. How far you follow. This one comes from Bankrai. Now, Bankrai has very close world bosses to it. So the sets there are farmed ridiculously fast and often based on whenever there's an event that's like, hey guys, go kill world bosses. The poor Bankrai world bosses are like, no, please. Zos, don't make this not active in our zone, because man, you will just consistently see those world bosses. I'll show you them here. They're they're right here. You see how close these poor guys are? Yeah, anytime it's like, hey, go, you get a reward box every time you kill a world boss, they're cooked. But this is one of the best sets in the game for max stat builds. You get stam, weapon and spell, and penetration. Who doesn't love a little bit of penetration? The problem is that, one, nobody's going to Raven Watch in 2025. A lot of us are waiting to see what they do with this new Cyrodiil campaign. So nobody's going to Raven Watch. And if you're not using this in a max stat Raven Watch build, for those of you who don't know, Raven Watch is just when all the proc sets are turned off. So it's like Scathing Mage, its 5-piece would do nothing, because a proc is like, you do something, something happens. So any set that's like, do this and get this, or this happens and then that happens, that's a proc set. So Spriggans was notoriously not a proc set, and it was good for that. Now, where it is today, I would still give it a 7 out of 10, just because that penetration 5-piece is still pretty rare, but I'll be honest, that's probably a little bit too generous. And the reason I'm being more generous than not is that you're not going to buy this because it's on the ESO open market, probably for like 50 gold coins. So if I hype this up a little bit more than it deserves to encourage you to use it, it probably does deserve that, because this set isn't as bad as people might think. So that's a good chunk of penetration. But everyone, a quick TLDR, because you guys like a little wrap up here. Burning Spell Weave could be a good purchase for you, especially if you're a PvPer who doesn't want to farm City of Ash. And basically, by buying a ring, you can transmute the second one for free. Scathing Mage could see a decent chunk of popularity. People have been experimenting with it on PTS, talking about all sorts of builds with it. I definitely don't know if I see the hype with it, but it could be one that's nice to avoid, because Imperial City Prison is not fun to farm. And then Veildrith, if you're like, I just need a 1-piece weapon and spell, and you're probably a PvPer, because if the only people who would buy this are PvPers with alliance points. If you're a PvEer, you're just going to go farm the dungeon. And yes, you could use this for PvE as a 2-piece. That's definitely better as a PvE 2-piece. If you're like, ooh, I can use my Undaunted keys, get myself a nice little 2-piece for my Stam character specifically, and be able to get, a free monster set, and then use that to go farm some veteran dungeons. I think that's perfectly good as a PvEer. So it's like good 1-piece PvP, good 2-piece PvE. So thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. We're doing a special month, though, for June. We're going to have a secret hidden word on every single video in the month of June. Every single one. So if you find it, you're the first person to comment it, you will get a brand new reward. I don't know if I'll have the content pass to give away then. We'll see. But we'll definitely have some exciting stuff to give away. So keep a lookout for hidden words. A second thing is, just make sure you're subscribed. We're on the road to 31,000 subscribers. We're like less than 350 subs away. And the third thing is, just leave a like and comment on the video. As many likes and as many comments as you want, they all help enter you into that drawing. So thank you guys one last time. Have a fantastic Friday, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.